everybody, welcome back to Mage the Ascension the Victorian Age here on Dork Tales. I'm your storyteller, Kelly. I use he and him, and folks, we're back with Victorian Age, another night as we progress into Cairo, the city of cities, the city of pharaohs, and so much else. Thanks for waiting. It's been a little while since we played because summer is always wild here, but we're excited to be back. And guess what? We're not doing it by myself. At least I'm not doing it by myself because I am coming back with these wonderful folks, starting with Christine.
Hello, I'm Christine. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I play Dr. Evelyn Taylor, our Society of Ether mad scientist, who definitely doesn't have some ideas from the new Deadpool opening.
I don't even want to know. Next to you, we've got Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy. Pronouns are she, her, they, them. I'm playing Chastity, Prudence, Goodwin, the Celestial Chorister slash Cult of Ecstasy. My brain was flipping through all the different traditions and then conventions, and I'm like, wait, which one is it? But we got there in the end.
You did. Yep. Also getting there in the end is Jen.
Hey, I'm Jen. I use she, her pronouns, and I am playing Josephine Carrington, or Joe, or the super long true name that I'm not going to say right now. She is our Order of Hermes fun time, not trauma at all character. Yay.
Right? It's great. No trauma, just drama. And speaking of trauma and drama, we would be remiss without introducing Robin.
Hi, I'm Robin. I use she, her pronouns, and so does Darcie Harkness finally again after being stuck as Tommy Keevan for a little bit. But she's back in her form in front of, you know, some sleepers. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, Darcie's uses she, her pronouns, and yeah, super excited to be back into Mage, and me not suddenly going in my head, how the fuck do I do an Irish accent again? So I apologize if she's a bit rough and rocky at the start. It's been a few months since we've played, so the accent needs it always comes out a little
it's fine.
bumpy at the
Just
start.
think about your Lucky Charms and it'll be fine.
Oh, they're magically delicious.
That's true. All of our Irish patrons immediately unsubscribe. No, they wouldn't do that. They're lovely.
It's
Hey, speaking of people who support the channel, I have to thank all of our patrons at patreon.com/dorktales. But I also want to thank our sponsor for the night, Bookwyrm Games. Bookwyrm Games is where I received these amazing Amethyst Gemstone dice that I'm going to roll to wreck you guys tonight. But you can get so much more over there. Besides World of Darkness inspired gemstones, you can also get normal D10 sets. You can get all sorts of acrylic, resin, liquid core, wooden dice. Like, they have so much over there. They have sponsored us for a year now. They are absolutely fantastic. They're even publishing some of my writing. So folks, don't delay. Go to bookwyrmgames.com today. That's bookworm like the dragon. And use code DorkTales on checkout to save 15%. That's a pretty good savings. What's even better than that is if you order 100 Canadian dollars worth of dice and materials. They also have like tea and stuff. So if you're feeling very Victorian, perfect for you. It's also like really good loose leaf tea. You can get free shipping at $100 Canadian or more worldwide. It doesn't matter if you are sailing the Mediterranean on your way to Cairo, if you're fleeing the technocracy in London, or if you're in the Wild West. You can get free dice shipped to you. Well, you can get free shipping on your dice. And actually, if you use code DorkTales for save 15%, some of those dice could be free. Thank you to Bookwyrm Games for sponsoring us. I can't wait to see what you do with some of this really cool stuff and the Dorktales dice that we're working on together. Besides that, I also wanted to let you all know that I've got some cool announcements during the break tonight that you definitely are going to want to hear, especially if you like our World of Darkness games, because folks, 2025 is coming way too quick, and it's going to be the year of the World of Darkness. It is going to be wonderful. We're back, baby. So besides that, does anybody have any questions, comments, concerns, anything that we should address before we start tonight's game? All right. So let me remind you of what happened last episode. Last episode began with the unveiling of the true form of Darcie Harkness in front of Samuel Blackwood and Henry Matto inside of the cab that you had booked to take you to your riverboat. Inside of that, there was quite a bit of banter, there was quite a bit of playfulness, and a bit of understanding that, well, for one, Henry Matto seems to be more in the know than either of you or any of you expected, and also that Sam is very, very confused. But from there, you made it to the riverboat that was going to voyage you to Cairo proper. And you met a bunch of people on there, one of which accidentally was fed to a crocodile. So that was fun. He was fed to a crocodile. A crocodile ate him.
Accidentally.
Accidentally.
Oh, sorry.
That was not intentional.
I thought you were like, it's actually an alligator, but we're gonna say crocodile. I'm like, what is an alligator doing all the way out here? Nobody knows.
He's on a vacation. How are you judging him?
Oh, that's fair. I'm not going to judge the alligator. I will see him later, though. All right. So, a couple of things as we're going into this. You guys are going to be in Cairo. Your actual train does not leave for 2 days. So you do have a little bit of time before you have to be prepared to go. And that is 2 days inclusive. Basically 1 full day, 2 full days. And on the morning of the 3rd day is when you will depart. Okay? So you have a place booked inside of the Continental, the Cairo Continental. And we'll be staying there. You were supposed to check in yesterday, but there was some delays. But hey, this is before Expedia will screw you over by about 100 years. And I am excited about your time in Cairo. We're going to see how much of that we can get through today and see what you are up to. And if there's anything you want to do, these sessions are, there is plot, but feel free to take this free form as much as you want. Like, have fun, okay? And if I have to Google things about Cairo on the fly, I will. So with that, let's begin Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age, Book 3, Chapter 6, In the Shadow of Pharaohs. The rest of the voyage aboard the riverboat is peaceful. At least as peaceful as it can be in the wake of such a sudden death. Your arrival in Cairo. Now with that, we ended last game with you heading in to Cairo proper. It is night in Cairo as you arrive. In the distance, you can see fires burning along torchlights, leading over to the vague shadow of something immense in the distance. But the city itself is twinkling with oil lamps, fires, and perhaps even a few electric lights. It is a sprawling city of domes and sand-colored buildings. And as you exit the steamship, the 2 men escort you off. So where did you say you four are headed? Sam will say.
Sure, ask us that right out of the gate when we don't
it was
remember the name of the
Continental.
freaking hotel.
It was the Continental. I said it.
Sorry, I was trying to get my head in the accent, and I was like, I can't commit to Cairo Continental. There we go.
That's fair. That is quite a cat.
Right? I was like, Darcy's going to say it, but then I'm like, wait, I don't know if I can commit right out the gate with Cairo Continental.
And admittedly, I've been spending the last like 5-10 minutes trying to like mentally get myself back into the fact that Evelyn's in quiet.
All right.
And is legit like a sociopathic mad scientist right now.
All right. So I will start you off a different way then. As you exit the boat and prepare to go hail down some type of carriage or conveyance on the street, flanked by Henry Matto and Sam Blackwood. Sam will turn. So, the Cairo Continental, right? Do you need an escort, or do you think that you ladies will be fine?
I mean, if we're in a strange city at nighttime, if you gentlemen are offering, I don't think we would be remiss to rebuke such a generous offer.
Henry frowns slightly in the darkness and says, "Our accommodations are the other way, Sam."
Evelyn's gonna side-eye Darcie slightly of like, she's been denying this dude pretty hard and fighting with him, but she basically invited him to come along there.
Josephine is also side-eyeing Darcie, but more in the, we can handle ourselves. What
Darcie,
are we
can
doing?
you do me a favor and make me a roll? I would love it if you could make me a charisma or manipulation. I'll let you choose. And do it with leadership.
Okay. None of that, but I have a specialty in charisma, so...
How
for
about
charming.
I'd allow empathy or expression as well.
Okay, I'll take empathy or expression. Those are both good for me. I'll do empathy. What's my difficulty?
6.
And does charming apply?
Yes.
Oh, alright, dice. Six successes.
He'll lean in and say, "Henry, we can wait an hour. I'm not going to have a bunch of broads, or whatever slang is acceptable at this point. Bunch of ladies from the continent getting lost with all the pickpockets, thieves, and whatnot here. Sam, I think they can take care of themselves."
I was only going to...
Sorry, Evelyn's just gonna quietly wink at him when he says that too. I was like, totally. She's gonna be kind of like grinning slightly behind Darcie.
Look, I don't know what kind of brew job bullshit you think that they're up to, but it's an hour. Besides,
Oh, well...
the Continental probably has a bar.
If you guys are going to... I was just going to suggest if you're going the same direction that you could escort us. But if you're going the other way, then yeah, we'll be fine on ourselves. We're quite capable. Don't need
No,
to
it's fine. It
inconvenience
wouldn't be
you.
fair for you to have to carry all of the luggage that you decided to bring. Without a man's help. Allow me, Tommy. And he'll pick up one of the suitcases at random, whichever one looks the largest and most impressive, with all of the aplomb of a kid at a church function trying to carry the most folding chairs.
Darcie's gonna race to grab more bags than him.
Okay, make me a dexterity and athletics roll.
Evelyn's gonna
Perfect.
pick up her own bag.
Do fast
Sure, that
reflexes apply,
Male
Kelly?
posing.
Yes, they do.
Josephine's also going to pick up her own bag that clinks a little with silverware.
Sounds good. It applies to me as well. Now I'd like to know who has the largest bag.
Evelyn's, while is not necessarily much bigger, it's probably very carefully packed and heavier.
All right. What did you get, Darcie?
I'm assuming standard difficulty of 6.
Standard difficulty 6, yeah.
7 successes.
Oh, damn, I only got 4. So you are going to how are you going to get this? How are you going to get this bag first, and whose bag is it? You pick.
I mean, she's gonna try. He's grabbing one bag. She's gonna try and just grab everyone else's bags as much as she can carry.
Okay,
Before
I'll say that
you can
Evelyn's going to
grab
be able
that.
to pick up the bag that Evelyn has with all of her sensitive equipment in it. I think that a scientist would just instinctively have her hand on that. I think Josephine and her foci as well. But maybe between the
And all
two
her
of them,
silverware.
there's another bag for clothes or two. Well, probably not for Josephine.
Probably don't have another bag. I probably just have the one bag.
I think Evelyn probably has a second bag for clothes, just given the era. And then Chastity probably does as well. Probably has quite a large bag.
Yeah.
Possibly. She tends to not have. Remember, she was borrowing clothing from Evelyn.
Fair.
So she doesn't have a lot, but she does
so
have a small
Evelyn
dog
probably
that
has
she's
a
toting
trunk.
around.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Evelyn's used to traveling as at least solidly middle class. So she's used to hiring a porter or something like that to handle her trunk.
Well, this is your porter right now. All right, so you are going to lurch down, grab a couple, and grab the edge of Evelyn's trunk, which serves as everyone else's trunk for those who are traveling light, and are going to kind of surge it up. And as you do, you are going to... I'm gonna... 1 second, please. Oh, beautiful. Okay. You are going to grab onto it, and as you pull in a hurry, your muscles are going to strain against it, and it's made of these... It's an old steamer trunk. Absolutely sturdy construction, thick leather handles, and as you pull and lift it up, the weight of it is somehow going to disproportionately shift, and you are going to feel the leather on the handle snap, as if someone cut it with a pair of scissors. And as it does, I need a dexterity and athletics roll, please, at a difficulty of, let's say... Actually, you know what? Instead, give me a soak roll.
Tough applies. Yes.
Tough does apply. Yep.
Okay. 2 successes.
2 successes. Take 3 points of bashing damage as you slip backwards and are clipped by a horse as this strikes you. You're going to be able to absorb some of it, but the horse carriage is going to plow past you and slam you down into that with full force. You're going to see stars for a minute. Jesus Christ, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. That snap. She's gonna go look at the leather handle to see if it was like cut, if it snapped away that easily.
It looks as simply as if it had, yes. It looks like someone took a razor to it. Or if the cut is so clean that it looks like if you put the 2 pieces of leather back together, they would fuse.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like a strain from like pulling and snapping, because that's not ever.
No, this is very strange, very bad luck.
I'm fine.
Yeah, your face is all
it
messed
looks
up.
like-
You're bleeding. You busted your nose up proper.
Oh.
For God's sake. Hey, can I get a cab over here?
It looked like someone has taken a razor to the leather strap, Evelyn. It's just been in our boat, or would that have gone down below for cargo, or would that have been with us, Kelly?
Probably would have been
Probably
asked if
would've-
it was clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You're going to hear a soft drawling kind of cooing, not drawl, but a brogue, as Sam goes and summons a cab. It's probably for the best that you just got mangled by horses a bit. You'll hear your cat say to you, "You did get a little arrogant with your magic there, lass." Sometimes the power of 3 comes back. Looks to me like the bruises on your face are very similar to some of the ones you left on Sam's.
Mm.
I mean, not that he didn't deserve it. Fuck him. Also, can we throw the dog into traffic next? And you're going to hear...
No.
Evelyn's going to pull out her chemicals to do her specific route of her specialty of gluing two things together, regardless of type of material.
Perfect.
And get the straps back together.
Sure. I'm not even going to make you roll for that. It'll fuse back together. The cut is so seamless. Honestly, it's a really weird thing that this broke. But hey, stranger things have happened.
Once we're at the hotel, I can go apply some herbs and fix myself up a little bit, but she'll just kind of like grab like a handkerchief from her bag and just kind of clean up her face a little bit.
Do you have a felt hat to get still?
Oh yeah, I guess I do have that hat somewhere. It's probably in a crate locked away somewhere, so I can't quite grab it right now, but I'm sure I do have it somewhere.
And with that, a carriage will pull up. The Egyptian driver will help you with your luggage, hoisting it up onto the back rack and securing it down with ropes. And then will begin to take you. He speaks in a thickly accented British English and knows exactly where the Continental is. He doesn't even try to scam you. Operating as he does so close to the docks, he gets pretty decent clientele around here. And before long, you are going to make your way across town to the Continental.
I thought you were having a like mini stroke when you started typing in our like letters and numbers in our chat, and it wasn't until the last one it took over. I was like, oh, that's our that's a paradox.
That's your paradox, yeah.
Yeah. It honestly took me until he hit J5, which is my number of paradox, that made me go, oh yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. See, and mine just apparently went off because I had a lot more on my sheet.
Yeah, you had 9, but
yeah.
you only have 2 now.
Yay.
You make your way across to Medan Abraham Pacha, Opera Square, where the Continental Savoy Hotel looms in front of you. It's a massive building with a central building and 2 wings flanking it, even more majestic than its center. A roundabout for you to pull your carriage up, as well as fountains and a small boulevard across the street, flanked with flourishing trees. It overlooks Opera Square and Esbekia Park. And as you approach, you can see that the place is quite alive. Every part of it glows with gold, oil lamps, and expense. And even though it's getting late at night, you can see that there are quite a few well-to-do individuals dressed in tailcoats and other finery wandering in. The hour's almost 11 o'clock, or perhaps a little bit past when you make it inside of the hotel. The man at the desk is pleased to check you in and offers his regrets for any problems that you had throughout your voyage. However, your reservation was paid in full and is still awaiting you. Now I have to ask, what name was the reservation made under? A fake name?
It wouldn't have been under Evelyn's name at the very least, because she would know the technocracy people are probably looking for that.
Yeah, I think Darcie probably would have used maybe Kevin.
Kevin?
Or a different name.
Very well. Miss Kevin, Allow me to escort you to your room, the bellhop says. Mr. Keevan turns to Sam. Might I take your coat as we go? It is quite warm in here, especially for those of...
Sorry, he is not Mr. Keevan. He wishes, but no, unfortunately, no.
Mr. Keevan? He looks over at Henry Matto. Henry kind of does a...
No, I am grieving the recent loss of my husband. It's just Mrs. Keevan.
I am very sorry, my lady. Please, my condolences and the condolences of the Continental Savoy. And awkwardly, he will lead the 6 of you to a large room. It's designed for a family and will be a little crowded. But it's good enough for the 4 of you. You'll have to split off into beds. It has its own running water. It even has its own privy. What more could a girl ask for? The man waits at the door for a tip, which he gets probably like a nickel or something like that off of Sam.
Please tell me Josephine just hands him a fork.
I was debating paying in silver forks, but I'm like, Josephine is not Ariel, and she actually knows how money works. She needs to fence them first, and then she can pay.
Yeah, there we go.
Is there anything else that I can do for you tonight?
Not for tonight, but we are going to need a driver for tomorrow. I was wondering what costs for the sort of service to have a driver be able to take us around town.
There are many available. If you check in with the concierge in the morning, they can easily provide you with one at the following rates. He will provide some rates that are actually pretty damn cheap. Cheaper than a handsome cab in London by probably 2/3. Is there anything else that I can... Well, buddy, Sam throws an arm over her shoulder. You can point me to the bar. I heard you had a good one here at the Savoy, and I wouldn't mind giving it a try. You girls gonna be okay?
Yes, we women will be just fine, thank you.
Enjoy the bar.
I always do. Well...
That might be a problem.
I love a
What?
problem.
I've noticed.
Why, you want to come with me, Joe?
No.
You look like a problem would suit you just fine.
No, I'm good, thanks.
Well, if I don't see you around Cairo, I have a feeling that I'll bump into you on the train.
Have a good time in Cairo.
I always do. He'll give you a wink, and we'll start to wander off. Henry will linger for a moment. He says that he does, but last time he ended up in a stockade. I
That
suppose
is
he
kind
still...
of the impression I was getting.
I suppose he still had fun.
I suppose it depends on how many people have rotten fruits around.
From what I understand, this city is not particularly kind to women, particularly those of your inclination. It is best not to be seen in the invisible workings. Now I must go watch the fool. And he will turn and will head down the hall after his friend.
Have fun.
He'll shrug. I will have tea.
Cocky prick. Darcy's gonna mutter under his breath, directing at Sam. Not at Mateo. Not Mateo. No, Henry. I didn't say Mateo.
Okay. And with that, you're all inside of your room. There is going to be a out of one of the bags, and this very fluffy papillon is going to launch itself out onto the floor, look around like with the air of a dog coming out of being completely stoned off of its gourd. He's going to look around and then
Chastity
Bran
will
is
hush it.
going to crawl out, and the Papillon is going to go apeshit, and Clementine is going to start barking his fool head off at Bran.
Can I do something?
Yeah. The dog does not have armor, so...
Can I effectively cast silence on the dog? Not on the dog, but like in the area the dog is. Forces
you- like,
magic to push this.
You can cast it
to
on
keep
the
the
dog
sound
so it
influence.
tracks with the dog.
At the
Yeah.
same time, can Evelyn glare at it for intimidation? Because like
That's yes, you may. You can make me a charisma plus intimidation roll versus its annoying factor of 6. And Josephine, please give me a forces at a difficulty of 5.
Darcy wondering if she can shapeshift into an animal that doesn't have a voice box.
Remind me how tens work in magic. If I have the specialty, then it counts as both, right?
Yep, we're doing
The
rerolls for
double
magic, no
and
matter what.
Rerolls. So it's a reroll no matter what, and then if I, okay, cool.
100%.
3 successes.
3 successes. All right. How do you do this onto the dog? Do you just like pick it up and inscribe something into? I guess it doesn't have a collar, but you have rope you could tie around its neck.
Yeah, and actually, technically, rope is my specialty focus for
It is.
forces.
So that would lower that to
So,
4.
It wouldn't have made a difference. I rolled 2 2s. Yeah.
Okay.
But thank you. So yeah, I'll take out some rope out of my bag and make like a little collar, not too tight. Obviously, I don't want to actually hurt the dog, but I will tie an intricate knot in it to basically keep the sound contained, so that people
Sounds good.
like us or anyone else in the hotel don't hear the dog barking.
That is beautiful. Now, as that is occurring, Christine, how many successes did you get to intimidate the dog?
what was the difficulty?
6, please.
Okay. 4.
4. All right, that beats my annoying arrogance of 3. So the way this is going to occur is Josephine is going to quickly bind a rope, like magic, into the rope. The dog is going to keep yapping at the cat. What do you do to intimidate it?
I think Evelyn's just gonna glare at it and just like the sheer menace, I think, of quiet is what she's.
It's going to growl
Conveying.
a bit, like in that kind of afraid dog way, its tail tucking between its legs as it starts to back up, and it will back directly into Josephine's legs. At which point Josephine can easily apply the rope around the neck of it, which is going to kind of counter with the leather collar made out of the bracelet that Chastity had last session. So this thing's slowly starting to look like a tiny furry Mr. T with the number of layers that it has. And we've solved a continuity hole. So, with that, the dog is going to start making this very confused face as it continues growling and barking, which is just, it's going to just start losing its mind for about 30 seconds of just constant open-mouthed wagging, before eventually it tires itself out and lays down with a... For an animal without real lips, this thing pouts like a French girl when it's upset. Like, it's just...
Darcy's just petting Bran in her lap.
Oh, come on. I wasn't afraid.
You got your hackles up just a little bit there.
I was going to give it a
It's
sword,
alright.
but I wasn't going
It's
to do anything
alright.
else besides that.
It's animal instinct. You can react. Initial fight or flight.
All right, then. What's the plan? What are we doing? Are we going to sleep or what?
Is it a bad time to make this thing look a little different than it currently does? Gestures
Oh,
at
I guess
the
I
dog.
could do that before I go to bed. Yeah, could try and
Would that be okay?
make it
I
into
figure-
another dog.
Or I don't know how difficult that would be, but I figure just make maybe the ears a little droopier and change the color.
I can. Okay. It's grow new limbs or features. It's
I'm gonna
specifically
say
saying
that-
humans.
So here's the deal. You have life 4?
Yes.
You can absolutely do it with life 4. I'm going to say that if you can change something inside of its species with that. So, for example, if you wanted to appear as a different ethnicity, you could do so with life 3 on yourself, right? You could darken your skin, you
Yeah.
could change your hair texture. I'm going to make a leap that, like, inside of a dog species, we can do that. Like, you'll need a lot of successes if you want to make this thing into, like, an American...
A Great Dane?
Yeah, a Great Dane or an American Akita, something like that. But if you want to turn this
Yeah.
thing into a beagle, yeah, it'll take less.
Okay.
Yeah, I think there's also a line somewhere about like changing the size of creatures within.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's with live, so I can change their shape. With like mage can do this to themselves at life 4, and then removing the restriction of size is life 5.
Yeah. So I'll say that you can turn it into a dog of equivalent size, basically medium and below.
Okay. Yeah, I think Darcy's gonna be like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I could probably change it. Is there any sort of breed you would want to change it to? I could try and that might be a little bit easier to picture in my head for drawing the circles.
Oh, I hadn't really thought that far ahead. I just figured doing a different color, but I don't know. Chastity looks at the others. Ideas?
What kind of dog do you want?
Don't know.
Don't turn it into a cat.
I don't think that was part of the plan. No.
You
I
need
mean,
too
I
much
like.
magic for that. To get it right. We are works of art after all.
Yes.
I like any of the-
replicable.
Mm.
I mean, I can probably change the color of the hair if that's what you want, but I was saying if you want me to just change it into a different looking dog, then you could probably do that too.
Honestly, Evelyn could change the hair color with, like, some science. And, like, a pot of ink, but, like...
I don't
Though
know,
as the
maybe a
hair grew,
poodle?
it might not, because it would. I don't know if that changes it. If the hair's dead out here and then live at
Yeah.
the root, right? Who knows?
Yeah.
This dog's gonna have an
Poodles,
existential crisis, though.
terriers?
I'm pretty sure.
Corgis? Corgis are cool.
Yeah, I could probably make that into a corgi.
Or a little retriever Labrador type.
I could probably make it into
Or-
either.
You've suddenly given me way too many options and I don't know what to do.
All right. She said corgi. Let's make it into a corgi.
Okay. How are you going about this?
So Darcie is going to first off pull out her mother spell book for her life, her focus for that. So I think she's going to try and flip to the chapter about
Changing dog breeds, obviously.
shape-shifting oneself.
Changing dog breeds, obviously, yes.
Yeah, obviously that's a very specific chapter. But she'll go into that. She'll also go into look at the pages about like sacrificing like animals for rituals, and to gain just a little bit of like anatomy knowledge from various kinds of different animals. So she'll be using her mother's spellbook a lot, and then she will just start drawing circles on the ground that have...
No, the room is not carpeted. The room is hardwood and tile with a rug. So it's actually pretty easy to flip the rug over and be able to do some workings on the ground itself.
Great. I think she will take out some like crushed ash for renewal. So she'll take ash and start just drawing circles in, like, do like a pentagram in the center, and then at the point of each star, kind of different parts of the spell that she wants to change about the dog. So like the ears, the color, lengthen the limbs, all that things. So she's going to just start carving the changes that she wants in the spells.
Okay.
Ritual, like lengthen.
That works for me.
Lengthen arms, or lengthen paws.
Okay.
No
So,
tail, but fluff.
can you do me a favor? I need you to do me a favor to make me a roll. What we're going to do is it's going to be life 4. This is definitely going to be catastrophic. So that's going to be at a difficulty of 7. Oh, pardon me. That's going to be at a difficulty of not 7. It's going to be a difficulty of 9. You're using your mother's spellbook, so that's going to be difficulty 8. What's your specialty in life?
Don't you mean?
Or what's your specialty?
Difficulty 6, because mother spellbook lowers the difficulty.
It does. I took it from 9 to 8.
Oh, I thought you said 7 to 8.
No. I said 7. It's actually 9 because catastrophic starts at 5.
Okay.
So then it'd be difficulty of 8. Then I'll give you a -1 for spending like a long time working on this. This will take a good hour to prepare the spell. And
what is the moon phase at?
What is the moon phase? Oh god, the moon was not in your favor if I remember. It was a plus.
It was starting to wane, so it was not quite.
We're gonna say that it's a +0.
As bad. Okay.
And it's on its way up, or it's on its way down, which is bad for you.
It was bad. The whole last.
It is. It has never been that bad for you.
Okay, I have notes that it was +2 difficulty a couple games ago, but
a couple games ago or a couple of books ago?
No, a couple games ago.
Okay, then it's a +2 difficulty. Because it was still is the same moon phase then.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
All right, so that's going to be at a difficulty of 9 again.
I'm going to spend a willpower for success, so I don't botch this. That is 1 success because of the willpower.
Okay. So you're going to have a little bit of struggle with this. You're going to start casting this effect, and you see the dog's muzzle lengthen as you set it down, and it sits in the center of this. Its muzzle lengthens, its tail begins shivering a little bit, and then is slowly going to shrink into its butt. It's going to look back at its own tail in confusion. Still silenced, and just cock its head. Would you like to continue casting?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do it.
I can spend willpower in another turn, yes?
Absolutely.
Cool. Because I'm a difficulty 10.
Mm-hmm. Unless you spend Quint.
I was gonna say, do you have any quintessence?
It would be great to have Quint.
Yep. Such is the life of a mage.
That's a fail.
With the willpower?
Yeah, it would be a botch if it wasn't.
Okay. So you're struggling, you're gritting your teeth at this. The dog's ears are going to extend more fox-like, and some of its hair is going to fall out onto the floor. Do you want to try one more time?
Can I?
Yeah. I'll allow it.
You didn't botch. You just failed. Sometimes you can.
But the
muscle
difficulty
through.
increases. How can it go above 10?
Well, thresholds, but
You then have to get at least or at least
but-
an extra success as a.
but also
a
you can
10
do it at
to make
difficulty
it
10.
Ah. Okay.
It starts becoming a threshold.
Yeah. Okay. So I have to gain basically 2 successes.
Mm-hmm.
To gain 1 success. Yeah.
Yeah.
For that first one.
You know what?
Also, I didn't state how many successes. You never told. I should have asked to
you did- I
clarify how
should've.
many successes
should've.
I need.
I'm gonna spend a drama bomb. Can you do me a favor and just roll a difficulty of 7?
I don't like that look.
No, I kind of don't want to continue. I don't know if I stated I was going to continue because I was worried. But now it seems
Alright.
like I'm copping out. So, all right, let's go. Spend another willpower. Back to 2 out of 6. That all right? That'll be 4 successes.
Okay, so the dog is going to shake its head, look up at you, and then scrabble around, trying to bite and remove its own tail from where it's been docked inside of its butt. And as it does so, it's going to scratch up some of your wards and some of your sigils. As you complete the casting, there is going to be an explosion of wind around this dog, as well as a cloud of mist that rises up from this. And I am going to just, we're going to have some fun real quick. So this is going to last for quite a while. Okay, I'm going to, okay, so I would like, let's start with, we're going to choose head, legs, body, tail, and ear. Legs, body, tail. Actually, we'll do head, legs, body, tail. So, Darcie, you are the caster, so which one would you like to pick?
I would like everyone else to do that.
Okay. So who's choosing head?
Sorry, what are we doing?
You roll a d10 and choose
Sure.
head, tail, body, or legs.
I will choose head, I guess.
Okay.
I rolled a 7.
Legs.
A 7.
10.
I'll do tail. 4.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, I
And
finally got a pun in the chat, and that's why I'm laughing.
and Robin, would you like to roll for body? Would you roll?
9.
Honestly, that was way less weird than I expected. So what we are going to end up with is we are going to end up with a short curled tail that is going to kind of look like, oh God, what are those dogs? You know which ones I'm talking about. The
pug?
ones, basically like a
curl up?
big, it's like a pug mixed with a feather duster. You are going to have it on Great Dane legs. You are going to have it on the head of a Let's see. So that would be a large size. Do you want it? Would you rather have it on weird spindly legs? Would you rather have Great Dane legs or Greyhound legs?
What I'm imagining
Christine?
from this, because I'm thinking about the size of the head and the tail, is like a weird, like, greyhound type dog with like a weird little, like, narrower head proportionate to body, and then the tail is like weird and twisted up.
So it's gonna have the head of a border collie.
Robin did roll 9 for body, so that's kind of along the lines of Great Dane, I think.
And it's gonna have I know exactly what it's got to be because it's Robin. So it has to be the body of an Irish wolfhound.
Nice.
What does the coat look like?
Oh god, this thing's huge.
This thing is surprisingly big.
It's
I'm gonna
no
roll.
longer a purse dog.
I'm gonna roll for coat length.
This is like Bram's mount now.
Okay, so the coat is the coat's medium length. We'll say that it's the coat of like a Labrador. And what we'll do is, Robin, do you want to roll for what color the entire thing is?
Sure.
Okay.
That's a 10.
So that is going to be. Well, I'm guessing that's going to be pretty. What color do you think? I'll give you control with 10.
Whatever makes the most sense for what abomination we've built. So if it's like more body of a wolfhound, legs of a Great Dane, then probably like a gray-black coat.
Okay. Sounds good. So there's one problem with this, and that's going to be this thing is going to into this. There's going to be a plume of mist as this thing emerges out of the center of this circle of magic and looks around, kind of looming down over Darcie from where she's sitting. And then immediately its eyes are going to bulge out. And it is going to begin not making a noise as it continues coughing at the papillon-sized bracelet and rope around its throat.
Yeah, let's cut that off immediately.
Okay, go ahead and make me a dex and melee roll to get in there real quick. I just want to make sure that you get in there quick. Do that at difficulty 7 because this thing is thrashing a bit.
All right, that's a botch because I didn't spend willpower, and I rolled a 1 and 2 3s. I would instead like to knock it out with mind magic if I see that does not work immediately.
Okay, so real quick, what's your strength?
My strength is 2.
Oh, damn. Okay, you are going to go to cut it, and it is going to panic and kick your arm, causing you to slash your knife along your palm. You're going to take 2 points of lethal damage.
Ow.
All right, what's everybody else doing? So you want to knock it out with mind magic? It is choking on the floor.
I will
Calmly watching.
Fair. I will go in and because this was a living animal, I'm gonna say that Josephine was at least somewhat smart and had like a quick release knot of some variety, so that if it were to like get caught on something, somebody could quickly release it, right? But it's choking, so that's not gonna happen. So I just want to pull on it.
Sounds good. All right, go ahead and give me a dex and brawl roll to undo it. 7 again.
Cool. Four.
Okay, cool. So there's going to be a quick release as you pop that off, and the dog is going to let out a sigh and a gasp as it starts coughing on the ground. And then is going to panically try to crawl under the bed, which it could easily fit under a minute ago, but now is basically going to get its head under, which, given this thing's intelligence, it thinks that it is completely hidden right now. Blood is going to spill onto the central circle as Chastity continues to dribble on it. What are you all doing?
I think Darcie's taking a breath because there was a hard spell, so I don't think Darcie's really... Also, how much Paradox did it take, Kelly?
None. It went off on the dog.
Oh.
Yep.
I think Evelyn will stop watching and just start kind of like going through her case and setting up her stuff.
Brian is cackling in the corner.
I don't think we're going to gonna sneak that in around anymore.
No, it's not exactly subtle.
Josephine's gonna redo a version of her forces knotting in the rope to make it actually fit this dog's neck.
Okay.
So that if it starts barking, it will still be quiet.
Sounds good. Give me the
bark. That thing can probably eat you whole.
Go ahead and give me another forces roll, difficulty of 4.
Cool. I'm also going to leave a length of rope on this time as a lead.
Okay.
Only 2 successes, but
All right, 2 successes. It will just whine quietly under the bed. You'll be able to leash it again, and the whining will abruptly stop.
Now, did we actually get the cuff off too?
I'm going to say that the cuff snapped. Because it was just a leather cuff, right?
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just
Brand.
gonna like try and pet the dog to calm it down, since it seems to think it's hidden under there.
Oh, I can't do a whine. It's just going to like lay down on the ground, and its curly tail is going to give a couple of very tense twitches. What's the rest of your night looking like?
Darcie's gonna heal herself from the bashing damage she took from the horse.
You're going to try. Go ahead and you can give me a life check.
Sure. I thought it was aggravated when it was from Paradox effect, so I
Nope.
didn't realize it was Paradox. I thought it was the horse.
Nope, Paradox is resistant.
Hmm. Then probably not if Darcie knows that it was a Paradox going off.
Sure.
That was a Robin doesn't remember the rules part.
That's okay. It's been a while. So, what I would like, Chastity's still bleeding on the floor like a stuck pig. Or a stuck chorister.
Well, she's gonna patch it up a bit. She's got some medicine. She knows to keep pressure on it, and but might do for some help, perhaps.
Darcie will go take out some herbs and start placing it on the palm, I think. She'll grab a wrap and start kind of wrapping it around like a little herbal mixture. And heal.
So, all right. Go ahead and make me a life check, and that's gonna be pretty easy. Bandaged up. Your life specialty's harming, right?
Right now it is, yeah.
Okay. So that will be at a difficulty of 8, 7 with the book. And quick reminder
that is one success.
1 success is 2 points of lethal damage. Perfect. So just a quick reminder that if you have plenty of time, everybody, and your magic does have a very high difficulty, don't forget that you can always use ability enhancing magic or magic enhancing abilities. So you theoretically you could have asked for a an occult roll or a medicine roll by observing like dog biology or something like that, or you could have done occult to lower the difficulty on the choker, I guess, for lack of a better word, the silencer. So things like that. It's a rule that we don't use as often, but just a quick reminder that does exist, because
Yeah, I forgot that rule. Definitely that's what I was trying to say by looking at the books and stuff.
it's okay. You got a freak dog out of it. It's fine.
So, otherwise, I think Evelyn is going to start working through steps of like creating something to do with like trying to make her rat corpse into a thing, a spirit-ridden little entity for herself.
All right. So you're going to spend the night working on that?
Yes, and I'm picturing her putting together like some sort of machinery to do like the talking to spirit type thing to encourage one to help me out.
All right. So working on your rat corpse all night.
I don't want it to rot. So whatever combination of entropy, life, prime, matter, etc. I have to do to make it not disintegrate.
I mean, you could honestly do that with science. You could just, if it's just are you keeping the corpse meat on it, or are you taking it down to bones? Okay.
No, I want corpse meat because I want it to look natural at first glance and not like a little skeleton running around.
Fair, and you want it to be ambulatory, so musculature is very handy for that. Go ahead and make me a... Boy. Okay, preserving an animal. What is the process you are using for this?
I think it's many steps. So it's stuff like probably flushing the blood out of the system and all that sort of stuff with like, I don't know, a neutral, maybe like a saline to try and prevent like rot and corruption and whatnot. And then like, she's probably got some like crazy amount of like wires, tubes, etc. like hooked up to give it a little bit of electricity from like the seeking stuff. And I'm thinking some combination of magnets, crystals, and stuff like that to make like a little speaker system for how she, like a kind of weird ass exploded out proto telephone type idea to talk to a spirit.
Okay, so what I want you to do is,
this is a whole bunch of things, I think, all at once.
If you're spending all night working on this, why don't you go ahead, since we've brought ability enhancing magic back up, let's go ahead and make me an intelligence and science roll.
Okay. Would my things of deductive or chemistry apply to either?
Chemistry would apply.
Okay, I will do that then. Difficulty?
Let's go difficulty 6 on this.
It's 5 successes.
Okay, well, don't worry about that. So this is going to take you all night to do. Basically, you're going to be doing a higher ritual. So let me just actually like do some math here to see what you can actually do. So what is your matter level?
4. Specialty and transmutation.
Okay, and you have entropy 4?
Entropy 3.
Entropy 3 is plenty for this.
Life 2, prime 3. Because all the things I see on animating matter is more to do with like recently dead, and it was life and prime. But then otherwise it's like matter and prime, I think. And then it was like 2 and 2.
But you're in quiet right now.
And I want to add spirit because I want it to have some amount of like ability to follow requests, commands.
Okay, so you are working right now. Let me do the math. So this is definitely going to be uncanny because it is just bringing a dead thing back to life, which is not quite catastrophic in this area yet. So you're looking at a base difficulty of 10 with all of those spheres. And then ability enhancing magic will drop that to a 7.
Okay. I also have concentration as a merit.
That won't apply for this.
Calculator as a merit.
Okay.
And mechanical aptitude as a merit.
Are you building any like harness or like engineering for this, like exosuit? Like framing?
I wasn't particularly planning on it, but now that you mentioned that, that could be really fun. I was more thinking about that. I was building this contraption to do the work to it.
because like realistically, the meat, unless you're like flushing it with formaldehyde, everything will decay, even if you're unless like to hold.
Yeah, but
it
I
on,
have
it will
entropy
still
and life combined and matter, so like I should be able to stop that from happening.
That's fair.
That's part of the point of entropy.
Forgot about entropy. Forgot about the thing about entropy.
So what I'll do is, I want as many successes as you can give me on this.
Okay.
Okay. You are looking at, you're in quiet right now, so I'm actually going to treat this specific raising the dead as being at a, I'll say that you can do this at difficulty 6.
Okay.
But I want a ridiculous number of successes.
Okay. Because like otherwise, like this could be like multiple effects that I have to like craft to build the thing eventually, like, right?
Well,
like preparing the body, then inviting a spirit, and
here's the deal. The way I'm saying, the way I'm considering it is that in your quiet, I feel that Evelyn would go through multiple steps if she was completely there. Right now, I think she just wants to get this thing done and has like a wild hair and wants to see if she can do it.
Okay. Sure, I was playing her more just sociopathic for quiet and thus not like caring about how stuff would look or if it was a right thing to do. But that works. Okay, so needing 6. Okay,
difficulty
so
6?
Difficulty 6. And
I'm
need however many I can get.
Yep.
I'd
spend a willpower on this.
Okay. That sounds good.
And do you have any quintessence in you?
I have 3, apparently.
I would spend 1 on the first roll.
Okay.
What's your avatar rating?
And
again, it's 2.
Avatar is 3.
Okay. So I would spend 1 on the first roll to drop it to 5, and I'd spend, I'm going to say you have to spend 1 point of quintessence just to do this effect by infusing the dead matter with magic.
Okay. So spend 2.
Spend 2 total, and give me the roll at difficulty 5.
Okay. And I will happily take time. Okay. So that is 4 successes.
Okay, 4 successes. It's a good start. Is that with the willpower?
That's not including the willpower. That's 4 on the dice.
Okay, so you did spend a willpower, right? So 5?
Yes.
Okay, so you are halfway there.
Okay.
Do you want to go again, spend your last quint?
Sure.
Okay. Difficulty 6.
Okay. Can I add willpower again?
You can add a willpower again.
Okay.
So while you're doing this, have you set up like a little like sheet tent in the corner to work under? Are you working in the privy? Like,
I think she's basically working on a desk in the corner.
okay. Sounds good. Is anybody observing or watching this as she's dissecting, draining, squeezing rats? I know that
Absolutely not.
Okay.
You were all there when Bram gave her the rat, so at least Josephine wasn't awake, but the rest knew this was happening at some point.
Did we? I don't. We didn't notice that.
No, you did, because you were like, "Why are you hiring my cat? What's going on? Why didn't you tell me this?" type thing. Because you were like, "What?"
Yeah, I know that we knew that you were hiring. I forgot if we knew that you brought the rat. I know you hired my cat to do something because you
weren't there for the initial hire. You were there for when he delivered it.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, you were there for the delivery and the receiving.
Delivery. Yeah.
So you're like, what?
Rat
I
delivery.
think Darcie's wandering.
You're aware I had a dead rat.
She's watching in like abject intrigue and also horror of what she's doing.
Evelyn's probably got like her glasses on and like something holding some of her hair back, like a wrap and like apron, gloves.
Josephine's like kind of interested in that, like, you're doing science kind of way, and I do have, points in alchemy and stuff, so I'm kind of curious, but some of it's just beyond her. Mostly Josephine is sorting out all of the stuff she stole and like packaging it so that it doesn't jangle around so much.
Odd. Please tell me that you're reinforcing this thing's little legs with like a fork that you've welded. Or you give it fork claws. like a certain Canadian.
I will happily have stolen some forks from Josephine and some leather and stuff, and just start
If you
giving it a little
like
harness.
hear Josephine
Like some
clinking
little
around
armor
and you
plates, maybe.
and you look over and you're like, oh, can I have some of those? I'll be like, yeah, sure, here you go.
Awesome. Start sparking a little like soldering iron. But yes, the dichotomy of like leather gloves, vest, and then lace shirt are probably quite odd.
Honestly, I think everybody's getting used to it by now.
That's fair. Woohoo! All right. 5.
Okay, 10 successes for this. That is enough successes that you can tier it off and not have to worry about the effect anymore.
Nice.
It will not count toward your totals. It is a freestanding effect.
Excellent.
So around 5 in the morning, anybody who is watching this is going to see Evelyn crafting this hideous little taxidermy. And then right as the sun begins to come through the blinds or curtains of this room, there is going to be a shock of electricity. And Evelyn, what does this thing look like?
Well, I think it's a fairly typical little brown rat, and I think it's got like basically like a dog harness of like in just like little leather straps, and has maybe a couple plates with like lots of little like, I don't know, lines and like circuitry kind of inscribed on them to connect the whole thing. It's how like the magic travels through it all. I just took like a couple plates of metal along the sides, but not too much. Nothing to impede its movement and whatnot. And yeah.
Can you do me one more favor?
I think its eyes are like completely white, like that blind dead look.
As you're doing
get
this,
the real look.
Can you make me an intelligence and cosmology roll?
Sure. Does deductive apply?
Do you have cosmology points in it?
I do.
Okay. Deductive will not apply.
Okay. Difficulty?
Difficulty on this. This is your first time using this, so I'm gonna say 8.
Okay. 1 success. I rolled a bunch of 7s and 1 8.
That sounds great. So here's the deal. I'm gonna say that you didn't. So you just asked for a spirit to inhabit this thing. So you rolled enough that you didn't accidentally put a
negotiate something in, I guess, but
cool. You didn't put a bane in it, so that's good. Don't worry about it. If you don't know what it is, then it's probably fine. What type of spirit are you looking for? A spirit of pattern, a spirit of the wild, or a spirit of nature? What type of concept?
What would you think best for something that's not going to be like too figure shit out, but will like follow like some simple like type directions, commands?
I'm not sure. Animal spirits, spirits of places.
Okay.
1 second, please. I'm just going to randomize this and see what you can pull out.
Okay.
So, can you do me a favor and roll me 2 10-sided dice? Tell me what you get.
6 and a 3.
6 and a 3. Okay. So your options there would have been 16. The brief time that it took for you to cast this, you could have gotten a blood leech. You could have gotten a spirit of 32, a spirit of wind, or a spirit of bones and decay.
Sure, let's go with that one.
Okay.
That feels more appropriate for how she is right now. But she doesn't want it to decay. The same point, so this one might end up down very quickly, and she'll have to start again.
What's going to happen is there's going to be a flash of light in the corner, and Darcie, you're going to see this as this rat blinks and sits up.
Darcie runs out of the room.
Running into the hallway, you are going to... where do you go?
Don't know. I think she's just gonna walk and probably just go, I don't know, down to the bar, to the hotel, somewhere where there's lots of people in life.
Okay, so rushing away from that with in your night dress, I guess.
I'm trying to know she even
Or
like.
was she so caught up in watching that she never got?
Yeah, I don't
She
think
never got changed.
I don't
Okay.
think I think she's still in her clothes from the previous night. Yeah.
All right, so you're going to rush down to the bar, and the bar in this place is absolutely fantastic. It is one of the nicest bars that you have probably ever seen outside of Paris. It's getting closed up for the night. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning, and although it runs all night, most of the people here have left. You could see the remnants of a wild cabaret touting the pleasures of the East, and as you wander in, you're going to hear a voice slur over from one of the corners of the room. Hey, Kevin. I thought you were going to try to sleep. And looking over, you'll see a fairly soused Sam lying back against a booth with Henry Matto sitting next to him, a hat pulled over his eyes to allow him to sleep, while his friend stays up and drinks.
She's just gonna sit down. Does he have a bottle open on the table? She's just gonna sit down, not say anything, because I don't think she can speak at this moment. She's just gonna take like a huge swig from the bottle.
Now we're talking. You look like you've seen a ghost. And as he says that, let's cut back to the room where this rat is going to sit up, blink, and look around. You said you attached a speaker to it?
No, I was talking about making a machine to help me do this and communicate with whatever, because I didn't think I had enough spirit to force anything. I had to invite and have a conversation. So this was all to do the work of doing this.
All right. So you kind of went into a fugue state to do this, so some of the steps for a larger thing you'll have to recreate. The rat's going to look around, sniff twice, and look up at you. And it opens its mouth. You can see that its teeth are decayed and chipped, and it's going to whisper. Taster. I accept your summons into this bar.
Lovely. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hey, Evelyn?
What?
What did you just do?
I created a small homunculus familiar to invite a spirit into so it can do things for me.
Uh-huh.
I didn't realive it or anything. It's dead. But it's hosting a spirit. It's just a vehicle.
Marrow taster.
It's Marrow Taster of Death, was it? Or Marrow Taster?
Marrow Taster.
Ah, yes, Marrow Taster. I believe it's a spirit of decay and bones.
It looks over at you, Chastity, and from where Evelyn had to drain it, the spirit, hold on, is going to try to roll human etiquette. One moment. Beautiful. It's going to reach up, grab itself by one of its ears, and lift the top half of its skull off where Evelyn has yet to reattach the skull cap with staples, and will tip its skull to you, exposing a withered, pickled brain.
Oh,
I think Chastity might just like hail and will just like might actually faint because that is
It was
horrific.
mechanical. I just figured that would stand out more than a little rat. I was trying to be subtle. Does it not work? Oh well.
Yeah, Chastity's gonna pass out on the bed that she was sitting on.
Well, then it is late, I suppose. Very
Marrow
late.
Taster.
Early? Yes, let's get that reattached.
Probably for the best, the rat will say.
Yes.
And I think as you go to work on that, that's probably a good place to take our break for the night as you head out into the city. Oh,
I'm just going to say that Josephine did go to sleep.
okay.
She's going to wake up to this nonsense, but I would like a willpower back, please.
Yes, you got some sleep. You take a willpower point.
Yay.
Actually, what's everybody's nature? Let's do that real quick.
I don't think
Survivor.
I'm getting mine. Romantic.
You never know.
Vigilante.
Ooh, vigilante. Not yet, but later this episode, absolutely.
Good, because I'm back down to 2 willpower because of the dog.
So
That's
my
fair.
nature is mad scientist. I feel like I fulfilled that.
Gain a willpower.
Yep. Yep.
It's been a while since you've been able to gain one, so I think that's good. All right, folks. And Josephine, what was yours?
Survivor. I don't think I've got it.
Okay, not yet, but soon. Now
No,
we have to-
I got it when I survived the fight on the boat. That's when I got the willpower.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so folks, this is a good place for us to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the part of the program where we're going to eat ice cream and talk to the chat. And I'm all out of ice cream, so I guess I should talk. So hi, everybody. So tonight's session is in the middle of like a long absence of Mage. We had like a bunch of stuff, life stuff. You guys know about it. You follow our everything. I hope you don't. And if you don't, then get on Discord. I really thought that Robin was eating ice cream out of a straw for a second, and I was really jealous, but I don't know. I thought you had a milkshake for a sec. I was thinking about ice cream. So our next Mage game is somewhere down the line. We're going to be on a bit of a break because some of us are traveling, some of us have big events. So, and then like it's a holiday weekend in Canada. So I think this is the only game we have for about a month. And then our schedule gets like a little more reasonable for the rest of the year. And then it gets like really reasonable after Extra Life. So sort of. December's really nice. But November is actually really bad because I'm traveling, Christine's traveling, Amy's traveling, Robin might be traveling for work. Like there's going to be a lot of stuff. You said in November potentially.
No.
I thought you said in November.
No.
October? Oh, you said end of October. Yeah.
Yeah.
So either way,
October.
Mage will be, so for a little while, it's going to be a little infrequent, but that's okay because if you have been paying attention, there's a lot of Mage that you can go watch over on over on our Patreon, because then you can absolutely get a hold of the entire run of Technocracy Zero Sum now, including the special epilogue episode is up now, and those
Finished
are going to be...
it.
You finished it. It's done. It goes.
Yay.
I got the email that said Random moved it to the done category on the wiki.
Yay.
You did it. You beat it. It's dead.
Yeah.
But you should all go watch that. But hey, another cool announcement though, there's a bunch of really cool stuff coming to Dork Tales very soon. For example, tomorrow is Dreams of Arcos, and then next weekend on Sunday is Dreams of Arcos. And then, God willing, which God I'm not sure, but God's willing, it is done. And then on the 6th of October, we are doing a 3-episode run of Deviant the Renegades, which is a Chronicles of Darkness game that is kind of like a love letter to all the weird shit they couldn't put in other games. Let's see. Robin's got the best costume for her character so far. I'm curious what Amy's going to play. And I think you're really going to like it. But what I wanted to announce is that there's going to be a bunch more Mage coming in 2025. Start of the new year, we have a bunch of new Mage games that are going to be hitting the channel. So hopefully you will come and enjoy them. I'm not sure if they're going to be Patreon games or if they're going to be like everyone games. But if they're on Patreon, then they'll release soon enough. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of good stuff. And people were also asking, basically Vecna is in the same boat as Vecna's in the same boat as Mage, where it's going to be a little infrequent.
Me. I'm the problem. It's me.
It's you. Yeah, no, Jen's away like almost every weekend. And foolishly,
sorry.
we're running this on the weekend. But but we haven't like lost any Transylvania because of you, so that's fine. Not really.
True.
Yeah, right. So just don't like injure your back or something like that, and we'll be fine.
I'm like 2 weeks behind on getting Paradox episodes out, but I did get the Akashic episode out yesterday.
Ooh. Now everybody can know Kung Fu.
Fun.
That'll be good.
Nice.
So I really want to thank everybody for coming and enjoying along with our World of Darkness games. I also wanted to remind everybody that it is past my bedtime, apparently. That it is almost time for Extra Life 2024 Prime. That's happening over November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, where we're going to run like 13-ish games to raise charity for the Children's Miracle Network. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have been bugging everybody to come and run. I'm going to bug a bunch of other content creators to come out and run with us, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it because I might not have to run a game again, which is my favorite way to run it, as it turns out. It's almost like a little mini vacation for me. I just run other people's streams and show up and wear stupid hats. My favorite.
I mean, that's basically what we all do when playing in your games. So I get the appeal. I mean, that's why we show up.
Oh, I was just clicked the Extra Life link. We got a donation 19 days ago from the Rob Warlock for supporting Extra Life Friends and Meta ELU.
Aww.
Yeah, they donated.
That's really good. Other things that are really good are you folks. I really appreciate you being out here. I also wanted to let you know that something's happening. What's happening? I mean, there's got to be something else going on. More Transylvania. I don't know. I'm spacey. It's been a long freaking week.
I'm just glad that it did, knock on wood, we haven't entered a combat this game, but it seems like my dice are not as cursed as they've been earlier this. Amy, you missed it. Transylvania. I was rolling 14 dice and I failed
on damage
multiple times on damage.
It was awful.
And hitting.
It was awful for all of us.
Well, I mean, this time at least, though, I have a sword.
True.
You're just
reminding me that I don't own a sword.
Translate over to like.
I was gonna say, I was like, that doesn't. But I don't have a sword. That doesn't make it better that I rolled like crap.
I'm the magic sword. It's Aragorn's sword, so I think it's just like imbues luck out to the party, spreads my luck out.
I would love that, considering
You just
after
have to
Shards of
believe.
Nirn on Tuesday, my door
Lots of
to my
affirmations.
office refused to open,
Oh,
and I
no.
had to get. Thankfully, my dad was in town and was staying on downstairs. So late at night, after he was definitely asleep, there's me calling him on his cell phone saying, "Hi, Dad, can you come let me out of my office? I'm trapped." The office was not locked. I've lived in this house for like well over 30 years or so, like most of my entire life. This has never happened. I was expecting the doorknob to come off and have to try and figure out something to wedge in to open it. I was not expecting it to just straight up refuse to open. I didn't have something for that. So now I have a screwdriver in case I need to remove the doorknob. And we're getting into figuring out what sort of like emergency rope ladder we're going to get in case it ever happens again and you have to escape off the second floor out the
I guess,
window
yeah,
in
in
case
a fire,
of a fire.
that would be a problem, yeah.
Exactly. Because at least in my bedroom, we have the, the bed sheets. You can tie them around the window post and climb out. Don't have that in my office. It's no longer a bedroom.
I mean, I feel
So,
like tying
I don't usually have
sheets
to worry
in
about.
a panic might not be the greatest idea anyways, because they'd probably
No.
come undone.
Possibly, but it's still a plan that exists. Like,
All right. Well, speaking of lighting things on fire and things not going according to plan, I think it's time for us to head back into Mage the Ascension the Victorian Age. Everybody give yourself a stretch. Give yourself like a back crack, whatever you need. Oh, and let's head back in. Hello and welcome back to Mage the Ascension the Victorian Age here on Dork Tales. You all spend a bit of time either sleeping, staring at the horror in front of you, or reattaching the top of its skull to its head. You know that there is breakfast served in the restaurant here every morning. And around 7 o'clock, are you all going to be heading out? Darcie still hasn't come back after about an hour plus of being away. Does anyone go looking for her?
once Chastity wakes up again after fainting, she will absolutely go out and try and find Darcie, and will probably bundle the dog along with her, because this is traumatizing for the dog too.
The dog is going to look around with quite a bit of confusion as it wanders alongside of you, and will be very surprised when it lifts its leg to pee on a random vase and almost kicks the damn thing over with its giant leg.
It has some depth perception issues it needs to work out.
And as you are wandering with your dog, some of the attendants will give your dog a strange look, for it is a very odd mutt breed, or perhaps an exotic animal that they've never seen before. But you will find your way down to the hotel's bar. There's nothing left in this bar aside from one single Egyptian bartender and 3 individuals. One that is sleeping with his hands over his ears on a nearby booth that you'll recognize as Henry Matto. And Darcie, how many drinks are you in to this?
I think her and Sam are on another bottle.
Okay, so can you just give me a stamina roll at a difficulty of 6? Let's see how well you're doing. And
Does tough apply or no? Just
no.
I don't know if that applies.
Tough
for,
as impact. This is like, this would be like fortuitous or something like that.
Yeah. Difficulty of 6.
Yep.
Okay, that's a 1 there. So 1 success.
1 success. I'm gonna say that. So you're into the next bottle. How many shots of alcohol do you think that you have drank?
Probably 6.
Okay, so I want you to picture, you did not eat before this. So picture
No.
how Darcie would be doing with 4 shots of alcohol on an empty stomach.
I
So,
can picture this. I can
she's
picture this because I'm
decently-
drawing back to university.
So, sitting inside of the restaurant, he's gonna be leaning over. You guys are chatting. What are you guys talking about?
I think Darcie is doing. She's probably gonna ask either Henry to find if either Evie has it on it, or but she's like trying to learn cards, because I think she's like, I'm just ignoring everything, and probably is trying to learn cards to try and beat him at cards.
So Henry has moved to a different table when you guys started talking very loudly in the morning, and is just trying to sleep away the bullshit that is happening around him. And as he is doing that, Sam will pull out a deck of cards and begin dealing out. Now look, the trick about cards is that you got to keep your eye on them, okay? It's one part luck, one part... Hey, you focusing?
Yeah, I am focusing. Don't worry. I am focusing. I can see you have...
I have 4
3
aces.
eyes now, right?
Yeah, and 4
What?
aces. He's gonna hold up 4 aces.
How the fuck did you get that?
You were looking at my beautiful nose.
Ugh, no, it's way too large.
Well, I'm
You got
sorry
that,
it's not a dainty Irish nose or nothing like that, but at least it
Yeah.
ain't covered with all those chicken pox marks you got.
Oh, chicken pox marks you got. Oh,
Yeah, those craters
are...
all over your face. You look like a
At
dairy
least-
cow.
Oh, please, you what? God. I can turn you into a cow. I'll turn
Maybe a
you
bull.
into a cow. No, I'll turn you into a cow and then I'll milk ya. For my...
And I think that is where Chastity is going to round the corner. You know what, Darcie? Gain a willpower for that, because that was ridiculous.
Darcie, you're gonna do what now?
Oh, what time is it? It's
You're not going to milk me. I'm going to milk you, lady.
Excuse you.
Not.
Also, no, gross. You
You were talking
are a
about
pig.
milking me.
You're a cow. You're not a cow. You're
Look.
a pig.
Well, and you're
Okay.
not a cow. You're an Irish setter, and you know what that means for you? You're
What?
a bitch. Mm-hmm. I said it.
Excuse me, sir. You owe me another drink, is what you are. For that, Tone, you do not talk to a lady like that. I'm a lady.
Well, now that I see a lady, I'll talk to one different. Miss
Prudence
Don't worry about it right
Goodwin.
now. Don't hurt yourself.
Miss Chastity,
listen.
would you care for a glass of the only thing good that Egypt's seen from Ireland? He holds up the bottle.
Well, at least we are
Hey.
good for something. I don't see much from America over here.
Are you flirting or are you fighting? I cannot
What?
tell.
You gross, no.
Not if she was the Would you care
Not
for
if-
a drink?
Only thing he's useful for is
Yes, of
turning
course I
into a
would
cow.
love a drink.
What's
Yes,
wait,
a drink would be
hold-
great. I'm gonna
hold-
sit and figure out what this thing eats. Gestures to the weirdly proportioned dog.
What the fuck is that?
Oh,
It's
don't-
a
don't-
dog.
It's a dog. Don't worry about it.
They have weird dogs in Egypt. Anyway,
Yeah.
Hmm.
here's a glass. Here's whiskey. What time is it?
Morning.
Oh, it's
No,
not.
it's
Oh,
not morning. It would be bright outside. Oh, shit.
It's morning. Can we get some breakfast down over here?
Right away, ma'am. Someone will pipe. And you'll
Thank
see
you.
the area around the bar beginning to the main restaurant, at least, beginning to fill up with people, dressed in their Sunday best, or quite well attired individuals. Every meal in this era, when you're seen out in public, is a way to really show off.
Also, Mr. Blackwood, you say if I was the last woman on Earth, but you seem to be hanging out around me a lot.
You asked me to look out for you.
Yeah, you didn't have to stay.
I didn't stay for you.
Oh, okay.
I stayed because
sure.
Henry wanted a drink.
Yeah, he is the one having a drink.
He looks like he wishes he was in bed several hours ago.
Well,
Listen,
fine.
just because I'm exotic beauty doesn't mean you can control yourself, I'm sure. There's many women out there.
I've seen enough Irish bugs back in America.
Irish what?
You know what? It is way too early? Late?
Right.
It's way too much right now, one way or the other. You need a drink. And he'll pour you another one. Somebody's got to walk Henry back over to our place of accommodation. Can you mind this for me? He pats the bottle.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I?
pro tip. Don't walk around the city with that. Okay? A lot of Muslims here. They're not too big of a fan of the devil's juice, okay?
I wasn't planning on going out around with a bottle. It's not very ladylike. I know you men can get away with it, but for a woman...
It's not very ladylike. Says the one who cross-dresses as a man.
Yeah, it's not very ladylike. I would know the difference, hence why I do it. I'm the expert.
Alright. Well.
Thank you for the drink. You helped unwind a very stressful night.
Maybe I should have come down sooner then.
That's fine.
Oh.
She just needed to talk through some stuff. She had a weird nightmare or something, right? What was it? You had a dream about some little monster?
Yeah, that's why I should have come down sooner too. I passed out.
Yeah.
I took care of your ward for you, Miss Chastity.
She's not my responsibility.
Well, he's mine, so I'm gonna head out. He's gonna scoot over and smack Henry on the knee. Come on, man. We're heading out. Oh, finally. And then a voice will pipe up over their shoulders and will say, "Excuse me, ladies. Food will be served in the dining room. A table has been prepared for you."
Fantastic.
Wonderful. I think I probably should switch to coffee. I could pull it. We have an Irish coffee. You should grab the bottle.
All right, come on, Henry. Let's get out of here. And I'll be seeing the likes of you sometime later.
Oh yeah, for the Darcie rhymes a train.
And then they're gonna just stumble
How
off
much have you
waving.
had?
Darcie's, you're gonna look at the table and see like another like full bottle of whiskey done, and then this one's partially drunk. He had started before I got down, but I helped him finish that, and we were working on this one as well. A lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
All right.
And you seem to be getting along pretty well, despite what you say and he says. You know that, right? That this, if you really didn't like each other, you would not spend time together.
Darcie's gonna take a sip out of the bottle.
All right.
Just putting it out there, just so you're aware.
No, he's convenient. He was there. He was down there, and it's better than talking to a random stranger. He's a cad. He's a cad and a rascal and a scoundrel. No,
Yes,
I'm
he's
no.
also. How do I put it? Of all the men we've encountered so far, he seems to be one of the more tolerable. In that he has not gone out of his way to insult us. He just puts his foot in his mouth.
Yeah. But, like, I've had really not great... I'm off of men for now. The Blackwood. Not Blackwood, that's Macduff, that's the word we're trying to...
I feel like you're... I understand that did not go well. And could be very, very, present.
Mm.
But you seem to be thinking about him a whole lot.
Mm.
And if you want to have someone who is distinctly different from that individual, he's very... I'm saying, he's different.
Let's go get some coffee. Darcie's gonna just walk out, start going to the dining room, just like
The dining room.
And Chastity's watching, like, we'll pause for a second, watch her go for a couple steps before following. We'll go like, choo choo? What? Honestly.
All right.
Like that kind of like to herself laughter, just like, yeah, right, sure.
Wonderful. Back in the room, Josephine, you wake up pretty easily these days. You've always been a decently early riser, I think, from your studying days. But if you wake up after that sleep, having regenerated that willpower point, you'll see that Evelyn is suturing, stapling. How are you attaching the skull cap back onto this rat?
I feel like there's some tiny staples, and then she's suturing the skin back together over that to hide the skull.
Nice. Okay. So
oh, actually, yeah, Robin said it in the chat. Crazy glue. She'll use her.
you can make it adhesive.
Her adhesive that does all this stuff.
Okay.
For lack of a better term, it's crazy glue in my head.
Yeah. It's basically super glue, just without
Perfect.
the like issue of getting it on your hands and screwing up that way.
All right, so you attach the rat, and the rat will adjust its ears into the right position, which are slightly akimbo, and will say, "You're just like a rat now."
Excellent. You're going to ride in my satchel.
Will ride. As we approach the grim harvest, she'll sup.
Breakfast?
Yes,
That's
master.
an excellent term for breakfast. That is.
Who's
that
this,
works.
Evelyn?
Oh, this is Marrow Taster.
I am Marrow Taster.
Pleasure to meet you.
It's a work in progress.
As he says that, he tries. He pulls one of his ears, and there is this moment where your adhesive stretches like rubber cement.
No.
And
No.
then snaps back into place like a rubber band.
I can get you a hat. Stop trying to take your head off. You're very polite, but you don't do it with your own skull. Normally somebody's wearing a hat. They tip that to ladies.
It's true, it is better etiquette.
To blend in.
I mean, most rats don't wear hats anyways. But I'm...
Ooh, we could get him a little
well,
mustache too.
harness already.
Little mustache,
Like,
monocle.
I guess we could just paint
Little
that
hat.
on.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got whiskers, but those are kind of useful.
True, true.
She's gonna fashion a quick little like beret type hat.
I'll give you a fez, but that's the best you're gonna get.
Okay, I was just thinking that a beret would be basically a circle gathered tighter at one section then flattened. But yeah, if I can make a fez, I will make a fez.
It's like a thimble that you paint
Just-
red real quick.
Yeah.
We just take a tassel off of the curtain and be like, tassel.
That's a bit too big, I feel like. Like maybe one thread of it and then make it into a tinier tassel.
I mean, you could just make it smaller.
This is true. I guess matter transmutation. Sure.
Yep.
And I think I would shrink the thimble a little to make it fit better. Because otherwise it'd be
Hello.
That's better.
Now, once we're out in public, you can't talk to humans.
But I can talk to rats.
As long as it's not in English. Any human that hears you would probably freak out. Start trying to squish you.
I understand.
I hope you do.
Okay. Do you guys head to breakfast?
Don't want to remake you.
Yeah,
Feels like too much
breakfast
effort.
time.
Yes, breakfast. Do you think we can get marrow bones? That would be delicious. I could
Probably.
share them. They're
Yeah,
delicious. when
just ask
cooked.
the kitchen.
Marrow bones on toast.
Start of a great day. Yep.
Mhm.
Josephine's gonna head out to breakfast.
Bring me
Everyone's
back
just
something
having a
tasty. Bran will
Yes.
shout, bring me back something tasty. I don't want to eat your rat.
Considering the number of chemicals I pumped into the body, you probably don't want to. Probably tastes disgusting.
I mean, if all the other pets are going, why doesn't Bran just follow along?
Bran
The
will
dog's
just,
out for breakfast.
because Bran's lazy.
Fair.
And as
Yeah,
you
I'm
say
not
that,
fighting my
Bran will
satchel,
shoot a
Bran.
look at you. I've had oh, sorry, that's not his voice. I've had English food before.
Yeah, but this actually tastes like glue.
Hmm.
Probably.
I'm taking a nap. If
All right.
Darcie needs me, she'll let me know.
Fair.
Evelyn will follow Josephine to breakfast. You are not getting away from the little rat.
All right. Heading out, you will smell sumptuous breakfasts. And you know what I'm going to do? I hate to do this to you guys.
No, I haven't eaten dinner yet. Oh, you're gonna just torture us.
Okay. 1 second. Let's find out. The menus would reflect a blend of European and local Egyptian influences. So the breakfast is going to be fresh bread and pastries, croissants, brioches, and French and Italian pastries. Butters and preserves will be there, as well as eggs that are cooked to order for each table, scrambled, fried, or boiled, served in egg cups or on plates. a variation of cold cuts, teas, fresh fruit, and so on will be served, as well as coffee or tea at your choice with fresh butter or cream. However, there will also be various juices. Citruses like lemon or orange will be present, as will Turkish coffee, should you feel particularly bold. Served as well, you will see that the adventurous might try something called tahini? Or perhaps hummus? A strange mousse-like bean spread that is served with a flatbread of some type? All of it's available for order there. And as Josephine and Evelyn make their way out, you'll see that Darcie is enjoying her probably second cup of coffee as the waiter is coming by and taking the actual order. Do you grab a seat with them?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know that Evelyn actually noticed Darcie fleeing.
So, Darcie, as you're still quite drunk, you are going to get the second cup of coffee, turn, and Evelyn is sitting at the table like a horror movie villain.
Good morning.
Morning. Sorry, you scared the life out of me. Well, no, you could just put it back.
Well, that's statistically impossible. I don't think you can actually truly re-alive something. I mean, you could maybe with life. I think that's more in your wheelhouse than mine.
I don't know if I'm bringing back the dead for life. I don't know. Usually it's leaving the dead be. Anyways, I've had. There's some lovely food here. The coffee's good. The the booze is good.
Oh. Do you know if they do marrow bones?
I don't know. Maybe I could ask them. Do I want to know?
Delicious.
Why?
Well, you smear it on toast and it's delicious. And I mean, do have to pay the spirit. You feed them, and he likes marrow. I think it's he. I actually didn't ask.
The waiter will come back to the table with the place setting for the other two of you, and we'll set it down, set it up. Coffee or tea?
Oh, coffee, please.
Coffee.
Do you do marrow bones by any
Coffee.
chance here?
Marrow? I can check with the kitchen if any is freshly ready.
Wonderful, thank you.
Of course. Is there anything else that I could get you as well? There is bread ordered for the table, as well as a croissant, a brioche, and we were in the midst of ordering.
Yeah, I wanted to try some of that. Hummus?
Hummus.
Yeah, I would like to try some of that. I've never had it before. You were explaining it, and it sounds quite tasty.
Ours is made with either with garlic or red peppers. The peppers are not spicy. They are similar to bell peppers.
Oh, let's go with that. I think garlic's a bit much in the morning.
Agreed. Anything for you, or would you prefer to look at the menu for a while?
I'll look at the menu for a little while.
I will check on the marrow bones and come back to you. Coffee or tea for you, mademoiselle? Pardon me, I'm still in
Say
France.
coffee.
Coffee. and he will serve each of you coffee. There's plenty of fresh cream and sugar on the table in cubes, and he will nod and head off to go get the beginning of this and check on the marrow bones.
Excellent.
And as he does, let me just roll a perception roll. Perfect. Can I get a perception alertness roll for everybody?
Sure. What would I be at a difficulty being drunk?
Do it at 7.
Okay.
Did I patch up that point of lethal, or do I still have the?
It
two
was
points of lethal?
it was healed.
Okay.
Would resonance also apply for this, or just alertness?
Just alertness.
Okay.
Does detail oriented apply?
No.
Okay.
I got 5 successes somehow.
I got
What
4
was the-
somehow.
Difficulty, was it 6 or?
Difficulty 6.
Okay, 2 successes.
Ooh, y'all succeeded. Stuff.
We have 2, 3, 4, 5. I think.
Beautiful. So you are going to anybody who you all got successes, right? Everybody passed. So in the middle of this, you are going to hear a rustle at your feet. And glancing down, you'll see across this floor, it's a fairly clean hotel. It has to be. But in spite of this early in the morning where people are just starting to trickle in, you'll see that there is a rat. A small gray one that is out looking for any crumbs that were missed by the last person who ate there. It looks under the table, sees the large dog on the other side of the tablecloth, and begins backing away. But at that point, all of you are going to see a rustle in Evelyn's bag as a fez-wearing rat leans out and says,
Why did you bring it?
"Assalamu alaikum." Because it agreed not to speak English. At which point the waiter will stop, look over his shoulder briefly, and say, "Walaikum assalam," in reply, and will wander back to the kitchen.
So speak in human language.
Evelyn?
What?
Oh, that is. Why I don't
It's a
usually bring
construct
bran down.
by a spirit.
Yeah, it talks now.
Yeah, but it talks. I don't usually bring bran down for food because he talks.
Well, I thought it was going to stay in the bag, and I told it not to speak to humans.
You said not to speak English.
Yeah.
No human language. Out loud around humans.
Gotta be real specific.
But how we just don't speak around humans? Unless it's us four. With nobody else.
Alone.
around.
He tips his hat and slowly goes back into your bag.
Alright. I'll have to be more specific in the future.
I rolled his intelligence. It's not high. He's a scavenger spirit of death. His intelligence is 1. Wits, high. Intelligence, demure.
Very mindful.
Very,
demure.
not very mindful. Mind empty.
Oh, it has the other brain cell that the dog's missing. Sorry, the other half of the
Oh.
brain cell.
So. All right. Huh. Okay.
Would it be easier if I just made a metal thing? Instead? It's basically the same thing. One's just meat and one would be metal. But meat, I figured, kind of blended in a little better. It's kind of like camouflage.
Except for it talks, so maybe metal could be easier to explain than.
I wouldn't think so. I would think a little metal rat would catch everybody's attention instantly if it went skittering around, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Would
Jenna.
you like a little brown rat?
The waiter
big
returns.
I mean, if you think this is strange, you should see all the constructs that are around Concordia. They're just
I
all sorts.
Pardon me, I have checked with the kitchen and we can provide both cow marrow and lamb marrow.
Ooh, let's go with lamb.
Absolutely. It will take a few minutes to roast, but I can bring it out after the main meal if that is all right with you, or I can bring it all together.
That would be lovely. It can come after. Can I get soft-boiled eggs as well?
How many?
Or just 2? Eggs would be plenty.
You, are there any particular soft-boiled?
No.
Okay. Anyone else? So for you, ma'am?
Probably just some eggs, fried.
Fried
That's
eggs, yes,
fried,
of course.
Fine.
Of course.
Do you have a... She's motioning to the dog that's like lying under the table. Like just some scraps or bones.
More bones, yes. Many bones for this table,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes. I will see if we have any shank or anything else that is not going to be used or will be used for stock.
Perfect. Brilliant.
I would recommend against anything with too much beef fat, my lady, lest it upset the dog's consternation.
It's
A
no,
dog will fart alert.
I'll keep that in mind.
And for you,
You
lady,
have to drink. Isn't it rather early?
It's late from one's perspective.
Just
Chastity's
gonna point at something in the
motioning,
menu.
Lots, like
Yes,
a
of
big
course, of course.
bottle, like the entire size of a bottle kind of thing to Evelyn.
I will be back momentarily. And he will leave, leaving you once again to have this unhinged conversation.
In public.
In public.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna pet the dog because that is at least a little bit grounding,
You're
even
going-
if it is the
You'll pet the dog. You'll
Creation
feel
of-
that this dog is whining full time. You can't hear it, but you can feel the vibration in the neck. It's just...
I forgot about the force collar on it.
Well, speaking of force collars, I'm gonna take like, because my bag has all my foci in it, so I'm gonna take a
Mhm.
little bit of like frayed rope ends out of my bag and start weaving them together to redirect sound like around our table so that our conversation sounds normal.
Okay. Sounds good. Go ahead and make me a forces roll with that. That's going to be at a difficulty of 4, please.
Cool.
So, I'm really curious if after the stuff last night and this morning, if anybody is kind of questioning what's up with Evelyn.
Oh,
She's
Darcy's
not normally like
100%.
this for you
She's-
guys.
Darcy, 100%. Darcy is smashed at this point, trying to drink away the horror of what Evelyn did, and cause that is very much not like Evelyn. So Darcy will get there. She's gonna sober up. I
Actually,
can
Darcie,
sober up myself with life magic, right?
you absolutely can. First, I want you to make me a stamina roll, though, because it has been a little bit of time.
Uh-oh. Okay.
So do
Oh, sorry. Say difficulty for.
difficulty of 7, just because you have been drunk for a while.
I got 3 successes on the forces to kind of change our conversation to sound normal.
Perfect.
And so now I've got 2 effects up and running. But I would like to, now that I've heard Evelyn talking and whatnot, do I recognize this as probably quiet, or should I roll something?
I want you to roll intelligence and intelligence and empathy. Sounds like a good roll.
Empathy? But what about all my training?
Well, I want you to do a vibe check first.
She's very obviously different, but okay. I
That's fair.
botch. The dice are telling a story.
The dice are telling a story here. She's obviously
I didn't even
different.
need to. I didn't even need to ask difficulty because my highest die was a 4.
What the hell? Okay, so you botch. So Evelyn's always been this strange, maybe?
Yeah, okay, cool.
Then again, maybe it's just impolite to ask about the level of trauma you've all been through.
That's fair.
Maybe Josephine's like, this is a logical place for her to have ended up, given things.
That's actually accurate, yeah. Like, I might even know it's probably some kind of quiet or quiet-based thing, because I think I know of quiet
I think
just
so.
as a concept, but I don't know of paradox necessarily. I don't connect
This
the
is
two.
true.
I know a little bit more about the straits now, but anyways. So I think that, yeah, she's just like, oh yeah, this is what happens when people go through trauma.
Yeah, she's just processing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
beautiful.
Everyone processes in their own way.
Yep.
The dice are
Some
telling
of
you a
us
story.
become monsters.
At
And
least
some of us
it's
just become
constructive in some
withdrawn.
way.
And some of them just make them.
Yeah.
So, what did you get, Darcie?
Oh, I failed. Didn't
Oh,
botch,
okay.
but I failed.
Cool. So yeah, you can try to purge yourself with some magic.
I would love to try and purge myself with some
Did you bring
magic.
your
I might
mother's book
purge-
with you? I'm assuming it's on like a thong or something.
Yeah, she probably always has it in her bag, and she probably would have grabbed that as she ran out the room, like
Okay.
just her bag with
So-
her herbs and stuff.
Give it to me at difficulty of 3, 2, difficulty of 4, 5, 6.
6 cap. No, I'm gonna keep my willpower. She
Keep
says
your
this,
willpower,
and
keep
then
your
she'll
willpower.
botch. Oh, okay, there's a 10. Okay, that's good. All right. All right, that didn't roll into any success, but 3.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You were just, what is this? You cast a little spell of purification? And what, like, take a...
She's 100% gonna be like, oh, I think probably the not eating much and the alcohol is something gonna make her feel sick, and so she's just gonna reach into her bag, and grab some herbs and just cite, yes, a spell of purification, just to kind of, and then just mix some herbs in with her, like orange juice or something, and down the hatch.
The orange, this is basically, it's going to taste awful, but it's going to work. It's going to have the cough syrup effect. As you do that, it's going to be orange juice and toothpaste, basically, is the taste that's going to permeate your mouth. But my God, it sobers you up in an instant.
Okay. Whew. All right. Okay. Josephine, we don't have we're good to talk. Freely?
Yeah, we're good to talk now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Evelyn, what the fuck is going on with you?
What do you mean?
Yeah, she's fine.
No, definitely not fine. You've not been one. You've never you've always been like sciencey, like chemicals and putting things together. You've not. You cut off a man's arm very willingly. Had a bit of a weird grin on the boat to replace Josephine's arm. Yeah, had a very weird
Longer, Josephine.
grin. Yeah, but you had a bit of a glare to your eyes that is not normal, and then now you're creating gestures to that.
Well, I mean, that is the culmination of a long time of study.
Did
I've
you
seen
see
a lot of people
yourself
create
last
these
night?
things.
I watched yourself last night. You looked a little mad, if I'm just, no offense, but you had a grinning glee to yourself.
Darcie, just
That's
because it's
different.
different doesn't mean it's wrong.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying she's very different.
I suppose I was very in the flow last night of
That's
creation.
certainly one way to put it.
It's not normal for you. But I've seen you when you've been at your height of your magic and your crafting and your science. And you have a very smart cunning to your eyes. Last night was like a wild caged animal tearing at flesh.
Well, scarcely that. I took measurements and everything.
You are skipping on steps that I know I've seen you do before. You are usually very methodical. Last night you
I
were not
had an idea,
methodical.
and I wanted to see if it would work. If it failed, it failed. That's all part of scientific discovery. She's gonna present very rationally and very but kind of cold at the same point.
Yeah.
Josephine's just
you're-
nodding in agreement. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
You're rational, but that was like scientific discovery. But that was more than that. That was something else. Also, you've never talked about spirits much before, and infusing them to do your
Well,
kind of bidding. That
We
is
did
new.
do a whole seance once, so.
We did do the
Yeah, but that was
seance,
the-
and I started
that was the-
investigating it a bit more. And I don't like to talk about things until I'm certain of it, how it's going to work. But then also we had that event where we dealt with that one scientist, and while she took it too far and was doing
Deeply
it in a
concerning.
very impractical way, it did have some interesting ideas. She was more into trying to do the reanimation part of it, but using something discreet as a vehicle did seem to have some interesting applications.
If you'd gone with something metal, you could have at least said it was clockwork.
I just feel it wouldn't be very discreet and everybody would gather around to stare at it because it'd be novel.
The thing talks, and it doesn't seem to necessarily listen to you.
Well, I mean, I didn't know that part. That's part of the experimentation.
They're just clarifying their communication patterns.
I mean, I've only
not-
just met him.
So,
Yeah, it's
out of character, Christine,
Thing.
when did you go into quiet? When did everyone go into quiet? I forget when.
On the boat.
It was on the boat.
It was
Okay,
during
so-
the event in the room. It was when she
Yeah.
tried to do the thing to shove it out. That's when she went
Yeah.
in. I think.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Okay, I
And so
was
it's just been from
wondering.
then.
Yeah.
But so she
The,
was thinking about this prior to quiet. Just all of
Yeah.
a sudden, it made it much
Me
more
too.
feasible and yeah, go for it.
It was during Meat Tube.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Me
The,
too.
the ambition that makes you think, yes, I should maybe put more checks and balances in place before experimenting with this and the ethics of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're usually more ethical about things. You take time. You don't jump
I mean, it's a
into
rat.
things.
Is there really much in the way of ethics involved in a rat? It was already dead, anyways. Bran had killed it for me.
I really don't know.
It's a dead rat. It's not like
The
I took a
waiter.
dead human and did it.
Is making his way back at that exact moment. The large tray. He sets down your eggs. He sets down more coffee, as well as a refresher of cream and sugar. So he'll set down everybody's food, as well as what you all ordered off the Let's Get Experimental side of the menu. And we'll even have a little bit of a leftover beef shank that he can put down for the dog to start chewing on. And the dog will start hungrily chewing on it, having not eaten in quite a while.
Oh,
Good, good dog.
do you have any dried fish or something?
Yes, of course. I could absolutely do such a thing.
Thank you so much.
I will
Thank you,
bring
Mr.
some
Steudler.
shortly. And with that, he will depart, leaving you there. He will take a step, look down at your plate, and Evelyn, where you have 2 soft-boiled eggs on little egg holders, he will say, "Excuse me, lady, are you all right with the egg size?" You'll notice that one is about an inch smaller than the other.
I know exactly what you're referencing, and yes, it's totally fine.
The last gentleman who came in and ordered 2 eggs of He was very specific about them being the exact same time. It was most peculiar.
Oh, that is odd, because eggs are all different sizes.
Thank you.
You can't really control from even one hen. They would all be different.
Thank you. 1,000,000, 1,000, 100,000 million blessings upon you.
Not at all.
And he will gleefully head away from the less picky customers. The rest of your breakfast is lovely. There is plenty of food. The hummus is smooth and delicious. And Marrow Taster will, in fact, get his marrow. The lamb marrow is supple, buttery, nutty, and fragrant. And the moment that he gets back to the room, he will basically climb inside of it like a small dog trying to climb inside a Kong full of peanut butter.
Excellent. So one is for him.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's going to have some of the other one and give a little bit to Bran as a follow-up thank you.
Good on you. But I smell fish. And sure enough, Darcie, you were given a series of sardines to bring back.
Mm-hmm.
Inside of a little package. He assumed, from the looks of it, that he was planning, or that you were planning to go feed, like, stray cats. Because Cairo has a ton of stray cats.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely Darcie's like the kind of like put on that like kind of sweet, like innocent cherub kind of vibes out. Bran, yes, it's been a little bit since you've had some
real food.
Yes.
Well,
some sardines will do.
Sardines will do lovely. Are you doing better?
We'll see.
They gave it a hat.
I saw.
I don't have a hat.
Do you want a hat? We can get you a
No,
hat.
I
You
don't
can
want a
go.
hat.
Oh, are you sure you don't want a hat?
You could make him a nice, delicate little cravat.
Hold
Like a
your
little-
A cravat is not a hat. I said no hats. Cravats are not hats.
All right, I'll get you.
Yes,
a
no
cravat
hats, but maybe a cravat would work.
and a hat. Do you want a fedora?
It
Top
would be
hat?
quite dashing.
I don't want one, but it's nice to be offered.
I'm sorry, Bran. I didn't think about. I've not really put hats on pets before.
I mean, to be fair, I only did it because he kept using his skull as a hat and
Oh.
trying to tip. I need to give
It
him
was
something
gross.
to tip because he was trying to
was
be very
really
polite to
gross.
ladies, but
Oh, it's me.
was taking it a little too far.
Mm.
See, that's not Evelyn.
It was
Evelyn would have been
awful.
horrified. Something is off with you, Evelyn. You're proper. You're the one that told me I couldn't go out on a date with Macduff by myself because I'd look like a whore.
Well, and look, I was right. He tried to murder
yes.
you because he probably thought you were a whore.
I don't think that was the problem, Evelyn.
No, I don't think that was the problem. I
Part
wanted
of
to
it.
sacrifice me from my family. I don't want to. But
Yes, but
You-
he probably took the
Okay, Evelyn, I know
conviction.
you're not very good at the whole emotional like understanding, but that was particularly insensitive.
something is off with you. Something.
And this has nothing to do with the science side of it, which I know is your wheelhouse.
No.
I cannot really
To be
argue on
fair,
that.
though,
but
if you
that
hadn't
was
gone off
very
alone,
sensitive.
Yeah, but you
we would have had a better chance.
Yeah, so a rat lifting its skull to tip the top to ladies is something you would usually take offense to. You did.
Well, I mean, he was
You're-
trying
she
to follow
did.
etiquette. It is a spirit.
Well, perhaps if
She
the
gave her a
rat
hat
tends
so
to
it would
act
stop
as-
doing that.
Perhaps
Yeah,
if the
but-
rat goes out on its own with a gentleman, she'll call it a whore too. I don't know.
Just something is not right. I don't. You've changed.
We've all changed. We've been through a lot.
It does-
Marrow Taster.
No.
That's great for you. I'm
Yes.
No.
great.
No.
We should consider upgrading your body at some point. Are you firmly attached to flesh, or would metal be okay too?
I enjoy having a tongue to taste.
Okay, so maybe
I
a
could
hybrid.
kill and possess the
Reasonable.
dog.
No.
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 No. Do not
No.
touch
You
the
have a
dog.
body already.
My dog.
Perhaps a human?
No.
Absolutely not. No. Off the table.
I think experiment is getting a little out of hand. Just a little bit. Just talking about murdering
Well,
humans
yes, it
now.
is a death spirit, but
Yeah.
it's tied.
What?
They have one-track
You
minds, usually.
Death
They are
is for us
focused.
all.
Yes, they
That's
are
great,
focused on
buddy.
a specific
That's
area.
great.
Could you get a spirit of like flowers next time?
Well, I don't feel like that would be very useful for what I want
Death
to
comes
do, and
for
probably wouldn't be able
flowers,
to control it
too.
very well.
I'm very much picturing a flower spirit that just starts invading and growing out of other things, and that's also terrifying because that's just how things look right now.
You have met the spirit flowering mint.
What?
It
Well,
invades.
Mint does invade everything.
Yeah.
Oh no.
It's pretty destructive, honestly.
I am very concerned. I
I-
don't necessarily.
You're a human.
A marrow
Yeah, you're-
taster.
No.
Yes, and you're eating marrow, so shush.
Yes.
I'll give you some tasks later.
He gives you a thumbs up.
And we'll set
That's
up
far
some
too human.
ground rules.
Too humanoid of a gesture. I don't like it. Don't like it.
No, I don't like it at all. I'll get. You know what? Let's put some cards on the table here. The way that I don't have a coven anymore. My was my coven, I guess, but my mother's coven and we sacrifice animals, yes. But in the mind of that, we do it with respect, and then we take the body and we bury it, show respect. I am seeing this is just a little bit like just a little bit of desecration to the body in my mind. So this is where I am going and why maybe I'm freaking out a little bit. I might be overreacting too much, but I'm trying to say I'm turning into Teresa right now with my accent. Fuck. Holly diddly do potatoes. Anyway, that is how I get into the Irish accents. But yes, so I'm very uncomfortable by this, but I respect you as a friend, Evelyn. But I just want to let you know, I am very. This is very freaky to me.
So, is it worse that I'm recycling the body, or if somebody just goes around killing rats with a shovel? Because that's what everybody does. Rats are vermin.
That they are. I'd rather it
Right.
wasn't moving around.
Yeah, yes, but then like, it
Would you prefer a little
decomposes, it
metal
feeds
body with
the
the skin over it?
I would prefer no skin if it was a little metal body.
But again, we get back to the thing of visibility and discreetness.
Fabric?
Can we get like brown fabric?
I feel like this.
Although I suppose a
odd.
properly
I mean,
tanned hide.
do you have anything
for
issue with
preservation would be
taxidermy?
Okay. I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan.
Everywhere.
I know. I'm not a super fan of it, but because again, it goes with my. It seems. Yeah. Yes, I know it's everywhere, but I'm not a fan of it. But yes, maybe some properly tanned hide. I just see the muscles and flesh, and it's
But you.
just. recycling a body, I guess. Recycling something that
So
has passed.
you
instead of
mined
keeping
this,
it-
but you didn't mine Vivian's horses.
Or Vivian's horses.
They had like all sorts of mechanical shit coming out of them.
They were
They were like
drugged
half
up.
animal, half metal.
They weren't super metal, but they definitely had like
They were definitely augmented.
well, they were
Fucked with.
they were biological. Like, picture them as like horses with like the Bane venom mask.
Didn't they have like? I thought they had like vents coming out of them.
They were masks that fed them an inhaled solution that made turn them into like super Clydesdales.
Yeah, well, it was still kind of half mecha weirdness.
I think they might have had some supports to like
Yeah, I
make
guess they
sure
were
their
all
legs
alive.
were.
Is that only in the
But
first
come on, but-
episode?
Yeah, mostly.
Okay.
Do you care more about it happening to the live animal or the dead body? Because like
I
I
don't-
could catch a live rat and ride it with a spirit instead.
I'm not sure how I feel. I honestly don't. The night with everything went so sideways that I don't necessarily had time to process exactly what happened with Vivian's horses.
Just because like with the mechanicals and the steam and all that to make it move and work would be a bit noisy and a bit obvious.
What if we work together on something?
But like I could always just use a living thing.
That's true.
I just thought would be a bit worse.
then you'd be-
This one isn't body
Yeah.
anymore.
I mean, I don't see any problem with what you've actually done, but if others are not feeling comfy with it and we have to travel with them and all that, we can maybe
I-
figure something else out. But
I'm not saying that it's not. It's something to get used to, and I said I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying it's against necessarily what I'm used to seeing and growing up with the kind of beliefs, but I am open to discussions and learning. I'm just more weirded out by the combination of you skipping a lot of your usual steps for testing and the very mad science.
Well, I mean, a lot of the steps were kind of included. There's not much time to do anything nowadays. We have to catch a train in only like 2 days.
It'll take some getting used to.
and maybe we work on its manners a little.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Well-
going to have to sit down and give it some rules. This is the first time I've really interacted with a spirit to see if it worked. Like, I had the concept and how it should work.
It's
Yeah.
just
I
a
mean,
little bit heretical. That's all.
it's-
I'll get over it.
To me, it doesn't feel any different than like other familiars. It's very similar.
I mean, I didn't give it life. I would like to make that distinction. Like, the original rat is not alive.
It's preserved.
That's
That's
great.
oh,
I'm
what's
gonna
the
try
last
and calm down the dog because it is continuing to whine and freak out, and this seems a little cruel. So I'm gonna, focus on that for a bit.
Evelyn's gonna kind of side eye the dog, like,
If you want to talk about ethics,
type like that one's still living.
It's chewing on its foot right now, very aggressively.
I need to learn about how dogs work.
Meanwhile, we have some stuff to sell. Probably get on that.
yeah. We do, yes. All right. Yeah. Let's get some fresh air. Evelyn, would you, unless he's going to be very behaved, or like if you put a muzzle on it, should you maybe leave Ratty McChatterbox up here?
Well, yes, I'm going to give it some ground rules and really try and work through close all the loopholes. My intent was to have it around so that if we run into a situation where we're having to get into something or find something, because have you noticed that things just happen to us all the time?
Oh, yes.
So this way we'd have a small thing that could go in and get a key or get a thing or open a door or investigate ahead for us. It was kind of the intent, because then it's disposable. She's kind of like quietly. And I could just get him a new body. Improve it.
Could you get a different spirit next time?
Which, by the way, Marrow Taster, do you have a gender presentation that you prefer? Okay, so no.
Taster goes with the flow.
All right. I guess let me know if you feel like one or the other, or neither.
Marrow Taster is beyond such limited binaries.
Does it bother you if I refer to you with one?
Is there marrow to be supped?
I think
that's
you've
a no.
solved it.
I care not then.
All right.
Is this one of those call me whatever you want, just not late for dinner?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes.
Josephine goes and gathers the silverware and the jeweled collar
Oh.
and all the things she has to sell.
Josephine, do you want to sell that, or do you want to just turn it into money? It's silver, right? You could just turn it into silver coin.
That's true, but I figured that might take more time.
Whatever works better.
Well, you should at least know the value of it so that when we go and if they offer less than the value of it, then,
Sure.
we know not to take that deal.
All right. So gathering up your things and all of the things you intend to sell, you head up to the front of the hotel. You hire a driver. And before long, you and the plucky young driver, whose name will be Ari, that has been hired for you, a cross between handsome and gangly awkward. A man who will absolutely, when he is more than, 17, maybe 18 years of age, when he is a man, he might be quite handsome. But he has that kind of not Egyptian, but I'm thinking Dev Patel when he was a teenager versus now type of vibe, right? Like, this guy's going to grow into his face one day, and then he'll actually be okay. He hires you, and then you start heading out on the city. And as you do...
Did I tell Sam I was going to milk him?
And I think that's where we're going to call game for the night. Because I can't beat a better line than that. Robin just told me she had a stinger, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. So find out who's going to get milked next time on Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age.
Not
but
it.
in the
Thanks. Nope. Not it. It's gonna be Marrow
not
Taster.
it. It's gonna be
It's Marrow Taster. Yeah.
Marrow Taster.
Quiet, Marrow Taster, taste the milk of death.
I hate it. I really
hate it.
it.
I hate it less than I hate other types of milking. But hey, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Hey, a big thank you to everybody who supports us over on Patreon. We cannot do that without you. And I really want to thank our divine producers. We have two right now. My parents and Shaiken Dave Vermillion, who has recently joined as a divine patron. Thank you so much for joining us. Our demonic producers, Mysterium MK and Sorcerer Sanguine. Our wizards of the Patreon, Tammy the Forever Cleric, the Ink Goblin, and Karasha Urquhart. Our monster maker, Soul Omen, and our High Council, Taryn, Dustin, Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Chef Eladeth, Larouk, Kelowna Kurd, Mike Baxter, Brian Kaler, and Nerdy Metal Gent. A big thank you to all of them. And of course, if you want to see a bunch of additional content, definitely head over to the Patreon. There's great stuff coming that direction very soon. We'll be back. So we have another month off before the next Mage game, as we are heading back through Cairo for the probably last part before we actually get on the train. I am excited to do that. But be sure to join us tomorrow for Dreams of Arcos at noon, and then we're back with Phandelver on Monday. Anyway, we'll see you soon, folks. Have a great night. Love you all very much, and we'll see you here next time on Mage the Ascension, the Victorian Age. Bye, everyone.